So it looks like we are traveling to the Serpent Mound. They wouldn't be talking about our Serpent Mound, would they?
I think that's the only Serpent Mound, isn't it?
Mm. I think that there are, what are they called? Not pictoglyphs. The ones you can see, what are they called? They're sky messages. A lot of people assume and suggest that they were made in order to speak to either extra dimensional, extraterrestrial, or the heavens. So the technical term for them would be an effigy mound. And then the definition of that is serpent mounds are a type of effigy mound, which are earthworks, meaning made from earth, built in the shape of animals or other symbolic forms. Now, I love this place. I think it's awesome. A lot of local lore suggests that the natives of the area fought redhead giants who hunted their people and won the war. And a lot of the Hopewell and a lot of the local native tribes believe this. In which case, they buried the bodies of the giants underneath these mounds, in a sense, a proclamation of victory, and also a way to utilize and honor thy enemy. That's what at least I've heard. Now, whenever I went there, the most recent time that I went there, this actually happens quite a bit. There's a lot of vibration phenomenon that happens there. And at the time, the girl I was with was taking pictures of me, and every time that she would take a picture of me, I would look like I was vibrating, like rapidly, like super fast, like I was blurry. And we took pictures over and over and over again to be like, like, is it just a fluke? Like, what is happening? But every time that a picture was taken, it looked like I was just vibrating like crazy, which was super strange. I definitely feel as if I have some weird connection to dead stuff.
I've never been there. I've always wanted to go. It'd be a good.
Yeah, we should go there
Yeah.
and do some filming. All right, this is sent in by Jeremy. I'm not going to give the last name, but the date of the story takes place in 1997 at the Serpent Mound here in Ohio. So it was fall of 1997, a Friday night in late October. I remember because the Buckeyes were playing the next day. OH?
IO. We'll both do it. Fuck.
Yeah, but I was supposed to do the OH. Whatever.
Let's not get bogged down with who was supposed to do the OH.
But we're Buckeyes, bro.
Yeah, well, we both did it. It's okay.
All right, whatever. So Buckeyes were playing the next day, and I had plans to watch the game with my dad. But that night, I was out driving with my girlfriend Emily. We were seniors of a small town community college near Hillsboro, and we decided to go out for the nighttime ride. Nothing out of the ordinary, just one of those crisp nighttime cruises. Guys, this is the type of storytelling right
Crisp
here.
nighttime cruises.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
September, not too cold. You can have the windows down. No need for AC. No need for a heater.
Cody,
Maybe a light jacket.
Tell the story. Tell it. Tell it, Cody. Okay. We weren't drinking. We weren't high. We were just bored and feeling a little adventurous. So we drove out near the Serpent Mound. Everyone around here's heard stories about the Shawnee spirits, UFO sightings, weird magnetic fields, even ghosts. But we didn't go out there expecting anything. We just wanted to be alone. Yeah.
I need to get down there to that Serpent Mound. It
Yeah,
sounds.
yeah, Jeremy. Yeah. We took a back road. Can't remember the name, but it was all dirt and gravel. Trees arched over us like ribs, and you couldn't see more than a few feet beyond the headlights. Somewhere around 10:30, the car started acting weird. The radio sputtered out with a pop and went dead. Dashboard lights flickered like someone was playing with the dimmer switch.
Not good.
Yeah. Paranormal stuff oftentimes affects electromagnetic fields. That's why whenever you're hunting ghosts and whatnot, you can use an EMF meter.
Or you can blame the back roads for faulty wiring.
I mean, can you really? Then the engine gave a lurch. The car stuttered to a crawl before dying completely. Emily thought I was just trying to scare her. She said, "That's not funny." "I'm not doing anything," I said, turning the keys. The battery didn't seem dead. I could hear the starter, but it just wouldn't turn over. That's when we heard it. Insert drum roll and post. Insert creepy drum roll and post.
Drum roll or heartbeat?
A drum beat of heartbeats.
Drum heart. Heart drum beat.
A heart drum beat. A scream. It came from the woods. A man's voice calling, "Help! Please help!" It sounded close, maybe 30 yards into the tree line.
Sorry.
Nope!
Yeah, I don't know.
Not around here. There's either two things that are going to happen around here. Like, if you don't see a car, like, there'd be a whole different story, and still a different story among that. I would be suspect of being robbed. There is no cell phone service or something like that. It could be someone wanting to jack your ride out in the middle of nowhere. But if I heard that,
Also, you got everything going on with your car right now. It's like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would, those things in combination would definitely put me in a
you're like,
state
I'm
of
not
mind.
leaving the car.
Especially if I didn't see no sign, trace, or anything of like another human on that back road, coming in. I would definitely try to drive off, see if there's a car further down the way, being very cautious. Cody said it the best in one of our videos the other day. Around here, it is survival of the cautious. You don't mess with such things. Best thing to do is get out, take note of about where you were in the woods, figure out the road name from about how far you drove off from that area, try to count the miles. As soon as you get to cell phone service, make that call. I looked at Emily and I saw her face go pale. We sat frozen, listening. Then we heard it again. "Help! Oh God, help me!" But this time, there was something wrong. The words came in gasps, too even, too deliberate, like someone repeating the sounds of pain rather than actually feeling them. Kind of like a mockingbird type situation. Doesn't really necessarily how to empathize on the same level, only knows how to deceive. Then we heard twigs snapping, a shape moved just beyond the light, something tall. Emily leaned forward and whispered, "That's not a man." Cody, what would you do?
Lock the doors, windows up, try to start the car.
Yeah, well, it's obvious I can talk. What if you just try to bro down? Maybe he just needs a place to worship.
Yeah, I could
Maybe.
give it a shot. Let's go down there and see what we can get into.
Yeah, diplomacy. Try to reason with the big fella.
Make a trip to Serpent Mound and try this out.
I mean, if he's anything, like a big puppy, maybe he's just sad that he stinks so bad that no one will pet him.
No one has shown him compassion.
Right? I squinted. My headlights were still on, flickering but unusable, and for a moment I saw it. Its eyes caught the light, but they weren't animal eyes. They weren't scared or confused like a deer in the road. They were aware. They were focused. They glowed like molten amber. Ooh, I love that. I love that. Good job on the painting a visual picture. Glowed like molten amber, wet, glistening orbs that pulsed slightly. It just stared. It wasn't just seeing us. It was reading us. That's how I felt with that thing that stood up. Then it crouched, and it moved fast. It sprinted across the road in front of the car, fast as hell, and disappeared into the trees on the other side of the road. I gasped. Emily screamed. I tried the key again. There's nothing. The scream came again, louder, from the direction it had run. Then another, higher pitched this time, almost like a woman in agony. Then silence. Total, utter silence. No crickets, no wind. We talk about this quite a bit amongst ourselves and also on social media. When nature bows down to whatever is around it, giving silence to whatever is there, you are dealing with a very imposing force.
That was just in the last episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I bet we get that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. That's when the smell hit. It was like rotting meat mixed with wet dog and copper. Emily gagged and covered her face. I opened my door to vomit, and that's when I heard it breathing, close.
Ugh.
I looked up. It was maybe 10 feet away, crouched beside the car, just staring. Eesh.
Don't open that door.
Yeah, I mean, you must have been lurching, or driving a nice car. You know, I really don't want to throw up in the Lexus.
Yeah.
I will risk death. Oh shit, Dogman. It was maybe 10 feet away, crouched beside the car staring. I don't know how else to describe it. It looked like a man. If a man had a snout, pointed ears, yellow eyes, and teeth too long for its mouth. Its limbs were long too, way too long, and covered in patchy, dark hair. Its chest was bare, pale, and sunken, like it hadn't eaten in weeks. And those eyes, I just can't explain them right. They didn't glow like in a cartoon or reflect like an animal. It was like they held light, like tiny lanterns. I looked into them and saw something and nothing staring back. Not rage, not instinct, but hunger. But more than that, I saw cruelty, like it enjoyed what it was doing, like it knew it had us. It didn't blink, it didn't move, just breathed, ragged and deliberate. Then it stood. I swear to Christ, it grinned, and that's what broke me.
Eesh. Ugh. Getting cold chills.
Doesn't that sound oddly similar?
The last one, a little bit.
No, to the one I posted.
Oh yeah, that too.
I mean, but like this was like the size of a coyote, though. The one
I mean, they've all got.
It did seem to gain
Why they?
like it when it became erect. It like seemed like it was much taller, though. You know,
That's
and
why there's similarities to these stories where it's
yeah, for sure.
the rotting meat smell, the dead smell.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many encounters that people have that sound so reminiscent and similar. You know, and the author of this seems rather like spot on. Like this has haunted them for a super long time. Puts things into perspective, and then you have to take in consideration that there were cultures all over the world, you know, having these similar situations happen, but like in Greece and Germany and Australia and I mean, you name it, all corners of the earth have a different version of this. I slammed the door shut and frantically turned the key again and again. Finally, the engine roared back to life. No stuttering, no problem at all. Emily screamed, "Go! Go!" And I floored it. Gravel kicked up behind us, and in the rear view, I saw it leap. It leaped from the ditch onto the road. It ran on 2 legs, then dropped to 4, then 2, and then to 4, chasing us like a wolf, but faster. So much faster than anything should be. We flew down those back roads, tires screaming on curves. Still, it kept the pace, its eyes glowing in the taillights. At one point, I swear I felt something bump the rear bumper. Then, just like that, it stopped. I looked back and saw it standing in the middle of the road, its chest heaving, its head cocked, just watching. We didn't stop until we hit the gas station near Peebles, parked under the fluorescent lights like they were holy. We sat there for an hour, just crying and trying to breathe. The car started fine after that, like nothing had ever happened. So they're safe now, from what it seems, unless this takes a dramatic turn. A dramatic turn. But yeah, I've had experiences like that. It really is shell shocking. You know, you are wrestling with you know, you have people growing up that say those are just silly stories. And then you have people, especially around here, who tell these stories to keep you what they think is safe. That tell you these stories to keep you out of the woods, to keep you out of the back roads late at night, to tell you that there are better things to do than go joyriding or booze cruising, you know, a popular sport and dangerous popular sport to add around here. But, you know, those things are said to try to keep people on their best behavior and keep people respected or respectable, you know, to such things. That's kind of the Appalachian way, like we said earlier, survival of the cautious. This guy was probably never had any reason to believe that there was anything worthy of being scared of, but whenever that happens, whenever something like that happens, you become a believer and you become an outspoken person. I think the majority of the time, because then you want to spare people of that same outcome. You want to keep people safe yourself. But it looks like this story stretches out just a bit more. The next week was hell. Emily couldn't sleep, neither could I. When I did sleep, I had dreams of teeth and gnarled bone and trees closing in. Once I woke up to what I thought was the sound of scratching at my bedroom window. But we lived on the second floor. Emily got really sick, like really, really sick. Fever, vomiting, hallucinations. The doctor said it might be hantavirus or some kind of exposure to mold, but they couldn't explain the smell that came off of her, like meat gone bad. I caught it too, but it wasn't as bad. We stopped talking for a while. I think we were both scared out of our wits, and the more we talked about it, the more it became real. I started digging into local lore and found stories that talked about the Dogman and the SW, the skin. Tales passed down by old Shawnee tribes about forest spirits that could mimic the voices of the lost, and the legends of the Wendy. That's all you're going to get out of me. Creatures driven by hunger and cold, cursed to hunt forever. Some said they nest in the magnetic hotspots, and guess where one of those hotspots is? Right under the Serpent Mound. We haven't been back since. We won't go anywhere near that area in the night. People laugh when I tell them this. They say it was just a bear or a sick coyote, but they didn't smell it, and they definitely didn't see it smile.
The smile always gives me chills. I don't.
Yeah, so this is at the Serpent Mound. Now, I do have to make a distinction. So the SW, the Skin Boys, that is a legend that hails from Western Native tribes, Navajo, such as the Navajo tribes and the different areas out there. Not as keen to those because I'm East Coast, but that is a legend that stems from Western Native culture. So to say that it was more than likely a skin boy, one of them skinny guys, more than likely not what I would put my 2 cents on. I would say it was definitely something different. Now God, Shawnee High School is just down the road.
Yeah, the whole town of.
Yeah, you know.
I think it's actually classified as a ghost town, but
Yeah, we have all of it. I mean, Moxahala, Shawnee, we're surrounded. I mean, a lot of people don't even realize whenever you're looking at town names and things like that. There's a lot of native signs that we just kind of look over. We've adopted them in without really giving any credence to where they came from. But that's what I would say. I wouldn't put it on.
I would say it's almost Dogman.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
SWs.
Yeah,
They'd be like the same almost. I feel like it would almost be like our Ohio Grassman versus Florida's Skunk Ape.
Yeah.
It's just a different name for the same thing, or very similar. That's what I would think. But also, like the whole it having the power to the dying of the car and the electrical problems there.
Yeah, I mean, you are in a kind of a magnetic field.
Yeah.
Rumored to be a magnetic field. Is it proved it's a magnetic field? I myself have had some experience in there that gave me some really strange, like it was really strange to see all those photos coming in blurred. Any other time.
I got to get down there.
And I wasn't in like a state of like motion. We even tested that. Maybe you're just moving.
I don't know if we want to drive around back roads or not, but at least go down there.
Thank you guys for joining us for that episode of the Near Death Diary podcast around the internet campfire. I'd like to remind you guys that if you would like to have a story read on the Near Death Diary podcast, you can email us at the Hellfire Holler podcast at gmail.com. And why don't you hit that subscribe button, that notification button? Let us know that you like what we're doing by hitting the like button. And we will see you 8 p.m. for new premieres of the Near Death Diary podcast, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mondays and Fridays. I'm your host, Deadeye Two Tongues. And we got the Fog Gilly himself, Mr. Cody. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next episode.